All right, so I'll do this. I'll connect these cooling pads. Hold that for me.
You guys know the little clip piece goes on the inside. Everybody works with it.
Yeah, so I'll show you. So on the pads, all I did was cut a pad. Just fun stuff in my garage. So little nipple here goes toward the middle section. Okay, so that notch. This goes toward the middle. It's just like that. That's how it's leaking. That's how that will connect. It's gonna leak a little more, sorry. So that's how that's gonna connect.
Okay.
And then to disconnect, you're just gonna press the blue buttons and it'll disconnect it. Okay? You grab me a nip, so that will light that up real fast. So, I always forget that. This is where I hook up to the machine. It's empty now. This won't happen to you because the pads don't have to be drained. They don't have to be purged when you go on a field trip. None of that happens because they have a valve on the end of the pads, the ones that aren't cut. These ones obviously are cut.
Here's Dooley.
Now you'll get a little bit inside here, right? You'll get a little bit of the residue inside there, but it shouldn't be leaking on
Okay.
you. No.
In my personal opinion, I still like, I've had a harder time reaching target and keeping target with the brain cool versus the intravascular. That's just me, I don't know.
So I can't, help me understand that a little bit. What do you think?
I feel
You
like
see
it
more
takes
shivering?
longer to get to target.
Like
and
they
I feel
fight
like
it
the
more?
fluctuation of the patient is just
There's a ton
a
more
lot.
shivering.
Do
Is
you
that
start
going
them
to
immediately
36?
on a bear hugger?
No, I
mean,
don't, I guess.
Is that-
It's not the shivering part that I feel like.
Is that going to 36?
Yeah. I feel like not necessarily shivering induced, but it's just like, for some reason, I don't know if it's like the sensor's not reading great, or maybe, I don't know, maybe there's an error in our temperature, in the esophageal temp probe or whatever, but I feel like sometimes it's just with the Alcius, it kind of stays at target a little bit better than with this one. I feel like the fluctuations go up and down a little bit more.
I used it not too
But
long
that's just
ago.
kinda what I
I was
see.
only at Target for, I think, 1 or 2 hours my whole shift.
Where did it go from there? So Target was 36, was it at like 37, 38?
Yeah, I was constantly fighting to keep it down, and then I think even the next day it was like then low, and I was constantly fighting to keep it up. Like I was never at Target with it.
That's curious. So here's a couple of cases that we pulled just from your friends over at iMed. They've been using this quite a while. They came from the Surface device. So they're getting the patient, the target is the blue, the red is the actual patient temperature, right? So it's working quite well. And I'm not suggesting that you guys are doing something wrong,
Well,
but I
it
am
could be
suggesting that we
what
probably
the
need to spend some time on it.
physicians are doing.
Well, I mean, water leaked out on mine, so who knows?
Do they
I-
target 36 or 33 more often?
What's that?
Is their target
36. In fact, this is a neuro patient on the second one I'm showing you. This is a 37.5. So you can see the patient temp drops for neuro. Yeah,
Just to keep their temperature down. Yeah. It's not to cool, just to keep their temperature.
So if you're not getting your patient to target, and if it takes more than a couple of hours to get your patient to target, they're probably shivering. They're fighting with they're seizing, they're shivering, or there's an infection.
So show them how they would know that. On
So-
the follow-ups.
All right, so we're gonna connect our pads, we'll connect the patient, we'll hit next. If you turn the device on and then plug in the pads, come look at this really quick if you would please. So you see the guy up top here? Right now he's gray. When you get to this screen, you can double check to make sure that your correct zones are connected, okay? So right now, I just have the head and connected, so I'll just do that. So then we'll hit next. Right? This is going to show me what the target is. You can make the changes right there by clicking that, what do you call that? Settings button. So here you can change your target temperature, okay, the duration for the rewarming, and your target for normal thermia. So this is where you can make all those changes. if you have a patient where you just want to keep them at 37, if it's a neuro patient, we're saying keep them at 37 until we say stop. All you're going to do is dial down the duration to 0. And now it's just going to run this until you say stop. I'm going to change the settings on this when I walk before this is done, so you can't change the defaults.
I
every
could be
time.
jumping ahead, but
Go ahead.
I had a neurosurgeon the other day that we couldn't figure out how to. It's just like that, like that grid, and you can't really like what their temperature was at what hour. Does this device do that? Like she wanted like a grid
She
of
wanted
like
to go back and see
go
it.
back and see, and I was like, I just had that like line. That
Yeah,
you're-
that's what you'll have. So this will keep a graph of the last 24 hours.
But I couldn't like last hour we were at this temp. That like this isn't like a.
We can
Do you know
find
what I
that in
mean?
Icentra.
Does it? Yeah. Do you guys
I can
chart
show you
that
where.
stuff right now? You
Sure.
I
charting?
mean, yeah,
It'll
I
come
guess
down.
yeah. She just
Because
came-
you'd
wanted to
have.
see it
Are
on
you
the
charting it
Yeah.
on your Alcius also?
Well, we have
So
it like
it's
connected up
slaved.
there.
Well,
Okay.
this isn't slaved, but if the temperatures are pretty close, then
Yeah.
we're good.
She just like
Because our
came from the
fluid
U
tank
and
is
was like,
slaved.
"What is this?" And so I was like, "I don't know how to like
Gosh.
a bra." Yeah, and she
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
none too pleased. There was no, we couldn't like see. Anyway,
That's okay. Yeah. So she has the Arctic Sun at the U.
she was the U, I
Yeah,
guess.
they're getting these, so she'll get used to it. But she has the Arctic Sun right now,
Okay.
and it also doesn't. You can't go back and list a number. It
Okay.
does the same thing your Alcius
Okay.
does, which will be the same thing this does. We'll slave into your
Okay.
bedside. That's coming. We don't slave to the bedside monitor yet.
Yeah. So I guess I know that like it downloads from up there.
That would be
They
There's
just
nothing
these
that you would
differ
see.
like by a whole degree sometimes. So it's just like I think she just I was just curious if it had that capability.
No, and help me understand. With this one, how do you find that one on the Alcius?
We
You
don't
would.
find it on there.
Okay,
So
so
in
you
both
don't- No, you
situations, we
Okay.
use the
It's like
esophageal
me
probe
writing
as the
it down.
primary
Oh,
temp,
okay, so
and
you
then a
you do the
secondary.
exact same thing for this thing.
Yeah.
Same thing that Brock has to do with the U.
Okay. I was just curious about
Same
the
thing.
capability to do it.
So everybody understands though how we run like we want to just keep them normothermic,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
hypothermic. Okay.
Yeah, so that's all we're gonna do there. So once you have everything settled in as far as your target, you'll press play. This is the graph that you were probably talking about that she can see, or he or whomever can see. This is what you'll toggle between. You guys are charting probably your tank temperature, or maybe you're not. I don't know.
Target temperature and then the patient's actual temperature.
I only say that because every other device that does surface cooling that uses Arctic Sun, they like the water temperature and they chart the water temperature, including IMED. So whatever you guys want to chart. If you
Every
did,
time.
if you did want to chart that, this is where you would find it. Okay, so right there with the 3 lines, you'll find that.
We don't have to refill this with water, right?
No, this
There's
has
a
a.
special.
It's a coolant. It's a BC coolant.
And I
That
want you guys to talk to everybody about that. It's in the back room and the special watering can. is what I
yeah,
call it.
it's fair.
To fill it is in there as
I
well.
had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought
Which
it
one
was
is that?
In the equipment room.
I thought it was
We're
magic
keeping
and
these
filled up
upstairs or equipment down, or
It should be
downstairs?
up here, but I've got to double check. It could still look in both places. The stuff's kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's right back here. Let me show them where that is.
It's just right here. You see this little cap comes off, fluid goes in,
That was so good.
right? It's hot in here. Or maybe it's because I just dumped water all over the floor.
No, it's awesome.
So-
And then you saw the max line, so
So you will get on here a notification sometimes when you turn the device on. It's a blue notification and it will say, check what does it say? BC coolant load, fill it up when you get time. That's basically what it says. I don't remember exactly. That's just a notification. If you turn it on the back here and you can see fluid in this glass tube, don't stress about it, okay? The reason we put that on there was actually a suggestion that came with this new software update from Thomas Jefferson. They wanted more notification rather than less. We used to put that notification up when there was 1 liter left. Now it goes off once you have about 3.5 liters in the device. So you'll see it frequently.